Fight Lieutenant Mkhwanazi and see yourself drowning in an ocean of tears. IDAC head Andrea Johnson, who was initially working behind the scenes with the likes of Kat Matlala, General Khan and others to get Lieutenant Mkhwanazi and General Khumalo arrested, has been exposed to the core at the Madlanga Commission. IDAC's Ramsamy exposed how she threatened to kill her if she exposes her dirty secrets at the commission. She exposed how she has been working with people like General Khan and others to cover dirty secrets of top politicians who have been stealing money in this country. Adding to this, a leaked WhatsApp record was played at the commission where Andrea Johnson was insulting all the commissioners and bragging how she lied throughout. She even advised Ramsamy to also lie at the commission or fly out of the country. This woman is a big criminal and a major part of the cartel boss and must be arrested. We, the fans of Mkhwanazi, are so happy to see her fall and being dragged in the mud. If you're a fan of Mkhwanazi, hit the like button, comment, arrest Andrea Johnson, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Jabulani, roll out the clips where the criminal who was trying to fight Mkhwanazi was exposed by her working associate at IDAC.
Is the 6th of December. Mm-hmm. Y'all got the dockets on the 9th of December. Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't have had the dockets?
No, I didn't have the dockets. We only received the dockets because on the 6th you sent the letter to Sentumule.
Yes,
yeah.
That is what I'm saying. So what would you have based, and that's what I'm trying to get. You based your facts on the Section 27.
Correct.
Did you check to anyone before that, or did you base your facts on anything else for us to have those other names?
It was on the page that you gave me. That's why those names are there.
How do we arrive at some of those other offenses like forgery and uttering and...
Forgery and uttering we generally put in our 28...
That's how I explained it, but he said... I have abused my power by doing that.
No, it's a standard thing because out of fraud we get forgery and uttering.
And that's what I said. When you look at that one paragraph where he says the alleged manipulation of procurement processes, that would appear for me in fraud almost invariably there is forgery and uttering.
Yeah.
And that if we don't put it in, then we can't deal with it.
And remember what the...
So what they're doing is... do they dissect word for word?
Yeah, that's why I stopped watching.
Yeah. Today I must have been the dumbest lawyer South Africa has seen.
Are you done for the day?
Yeah, I'm actually feeling sick. You know, I got sick last week, remember?
Yeah.
And I had a panic attack. So for the first time I'm taking meds for it. And after a while I just felt I was soaked. And I realized I wasn't even paying attention.
No, but to answer your question, the names that I obtained or placed in the 2813 was the page with your handwriting and the names of the suspects. And then when I asked about it, you said that you, Dylan consulted with Fadil, and that's how the names came up.
I must talk to Dylan. If we have to have a quick WhatsApp call later, is it okay with you?
No, that's fine. I'm free.
Yeah, because, otherwise I'm very confused because they need to know from me tomorrow. Where did I get these names? And I need to understand where did I get those names. Now, it's fine if you say you got it from me, but I don't know where I got it from.
What you told me is that Dylan obtained it after consultation with Fadil. That is my understanding of it.
Okay. I have to speak to him. I have to speak to him because he must have notes somewhere.
If you look at my emails, ask him to check the emails.
My laptop was stolen, so my laptop was stolen in January last year, so I've lost lots of my stuff.
But ask Dylan to check because he has his emails on his phone. There's an email between him, you, and I about the names as well as about the documents, the ones that were slotted in under Fadil's door. So there was a trailing email between us. He should remember.
Okay. I'll talk to him, and then if you don't mind, we'll chat a bit later on. Or else, I go there. I've already now abused my power by not asking where these names came from. I said to them, what? Maybe I had a discussion with you. I just can't remember right now.
No.
Which would then be true. Drew, we had a discussion.
Yeah.
If you say that there was this paper. But where did this paper come from? Where would those names have come from?
That was what our conversation was. It came from consultation with Dylan and Fadil, and then you had written it down. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to talk to him, then you and I will chat. But thank you. I'm sorry, but they asked me for the name of every person who's dealt with the matter.
No, it's fine. I don't even know what's happening. I'll be very honest with you. I stopped watching because we are so busy with preparation for blue lights that I just don't have the time to listen.
And I don't watch because it will really, if they call you, you leave the country.
Okay. Oh God. Okay.
It's not what you know.
Okay. No.
I didn't know section 28. I didn't know section 27. I know nothing. I'm as dumb as two bricks.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But it's okay because, you know what? Whether we like it or not, they're going to make our names shut anyway because you can just see, especially when, remember he's a judge. For him to make a comment, this is basic law 101. I'm surprised you don't know it with your 30 years experience.
Oh, I don't even know what to say to that.
Exactly. And he's and he makes faces, they laugh with each other while you're still answering. It's so unprofessional.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go there.
Yeah. We'll see what we're all going to do, but it's just going to be a shit show. But I'm going to talk to Dylan quickly.
Okay, but ask him to check my emails from, it must have been around the 11th, 12th or 13th of December because I went on leave on the 14th of December. So it would have been the 11th, the 12th or the 13th of December.
But he would have had to speak to Fadil after Fadil gave us the 27th, remember?
Yeah. No, his indication is that he had spoken to him in December, so it was late November.
Yeah, late November.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Fadil's 27 is dated 21 November. So he would have had to speak to him between 21 November and the 5th of December because on the 6th we signed the authorization with these extra names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm going to talk to him.
Okay, Mama.
All right, thanks, Drew.
No problem.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Concluded that we've been lied to, but I'm just saying perhaps the lied to is an appropriate, stronger word in the context.
I'm trying to be polite.
Thank you. May I ask you to read the last sentence of paragraph 5. You did not read the have, if I'm not mistaken. And
Paragraph 5 in the
45, the last sentence starting if she.
Thank you. If she disagreed with the contents of my email, she would surely have responded either directly to the email or via WhatsApp.
Okay, we're just trying to locate the WhatsApp screenshot. I know that it had been provided to us where Advocate Johnson responds, and it should be in the exhibit bundle, but for some reason it's not in the electronic version, but we'll come back to it later. But we have seen it. Can we then go to the next topic, subtopic, explanation of the names of suspects in the Section 2813 authorization?
Paragraph 46. Another issue that warrants special mention is the issue raised by the Commission about the lack of substantiation of the names of the suspects listed in the Section 2813 authorization. As indicated when Advocate Johnson instructed me to prepare the application for the Section 2813 authorization, she gave me a list of suspects names on the pink purple notepad page. This has consistently been my version. Paragraph 47. On the 22nd of July, 2026.
It's the 22nd, yes, so there's a correction. Yes. The statement says 21, but it was 22.
The Commission asked Advocate Johnson to explain the source relied upon for the names that appeared in the suspects on the Section 2813 authorization. As stated earlier, I got the names from Advocate Johnson together with the Section 27 referral affidavit. Advocate Johnson undertook to make inquiries. Later that day, at approximately 3:10, while I was consulting with the Commission's evidence leader, Advocate Johnson called me. And the call was recorded. The Commission is in possession of the recording because Advocate Johnson had already scapegoated me in her testimony before the Commission, and I felt I needed to record our conversation. In the recording, I explained how the names ended up in the Section 2813 authorization based on the names she gave me. At the stage of the recording, At the start of the recording, Advocate Johnson made a startling remark that we gotta figure out how you don't go. In other words, find a way for me not to testify before the Commission. I have no objection to the recording being played.
Chair, Commissioners, at this stage we want to play that recording for you. It is approximately 12 minutes. We have tried to only deal with what we consider to be important, but all of it is important. And there may be a point that we do cut it where it has nothing to do with the subject matter. It deals with three aspects. Number one, what the witness had just indicated now, a comment that they must find a way not for her to testify before the Commission. The second,
her being
the witness before you now. The second issue is a debate or an exchange about the names, how the names came about in the 2813. And then there is some criticism that Advocate Johnson makes towards the Commission and the process that the Commission is following, which we don't think is relevant, but it may be that we have to play the entire recording so that it's not suggested that we are withholding anything insofar as the recording is concerned, Chair.
And I believe that all three of us have very thick skins.
I believe so too, Chair. Thank you. So if you just indulge us, we'll be listening to it for the next 10 to 12 minutes. Then speaking to somebody that was legally trained, a prosecutor, was there that level of engagement?
Yes. When Mr. Perumal was not present or was not involved in the communication or was not influencing the decisions, Advocate Johnson was a very active legal mind. You would be able to engage, and she would speak about different things that she had done and how we can incorporate it and sections of acts. But then come Mr. Perumal, all of that is thrown out the door. And we are now doing things that we're not even supposed to be doing. And it is becoming an instruction. And Chair, from 2023, let me speak for me rather. No, I'm going to speak collectively as the prosecutors of IDAC, because we are all, majority of us are rocking in this boat. If you defy an instruction of Advocate Johnson or you contradict her, the the rain or the wrath. If you have to, may I speak about, if you have to go and check the records at the wellness program that NPA provides for its employees with regards to just work stress, home stress, counseling, you will be shocked at the amount of prosecutors and employees, admin staff from IDAC that are receiving counseling.
Is that not because of the nature of the work you do? Just explain.
No, Commissioner.
Yeah, please explain.
May I deviate? Am I allowed to deviate?
Slightly.
Slightly. Okay. If you don't follow the instructions, you receive emails of a nature that when I was consulting with the DPCI officer, when I intended on making protected disclosure in June last year, I likened it to being treated worse than a scullery maid. You would be internally investigated, unlawfully so. You would be made, I was made redundant for an entire period in 2023 because I objected to Mr. Perumal and Advocate Johnson. And it happened again this year because I objected.
And when you say internal investigations, what mechanisms would she adopt?
Okay, now I'm jumping ahead of my evidence. I apologize. Section 28. Paragraph or portion of that page 10 is the signature of Mr. Matthew Sissoko. He is the head of investigations and operations, also known as the second in charge of our office. And then thereafter is the signature of Advocate A. Johnson, investigating director IDAC. Please note that the dates also indicate 16 October 2024. This is version 2.
Yes, we can see there that version 1 is 18 December 2023, and then version 2, 16 October 2024.
Correct.
And could you just briefly tell us what the operations manual deals with? We are going to deal with it in detail later when we engage you on the processes, but if you could just give us a high-level summary of the document for now.
The operational manual.
Sorry, Ms.
Am I speaking
Ramsamy?
too
Yes,
softly?
and
I apologize.
closer,
Okay.
yes.
The operational manual is supposed to, and I use the word very, supposed to, create structures in which the IDAC works. These structures are based in terms of Section 7 and 27, 28, and 29 of the NPA Act. It sets out procedures with regards to investigations, referrals from the NDPP, team constitutions, reporting lines, presentations, instructions on how presentations are supposed to be done, on briefings as and when investigations are in progress. Basically, it's the Bible of how a structure of our nature is, or IDAC's nature is supposed to work. And when I use the word supposedly, if I may, Advocate Segal, continue. Thank you. Advocate Johnson would deviate constantly. It was a situation where we had this, but she would also have her own way of doing things with different groups, different investigations, different structures. So there was a constant deviation from what was in black and white. And it was always from her office that the deviation was done. And when the deviation was done, it always came with intimidation.
Can you explain intimidation? in this context?
Am I allowed to say it as we say it in the office?
Yes, please.
The nickname for Advocate Johnson in the office is flip-flop, knee-jerk.
Okay, just explain that.
You would get instructions in the morning. Can I speak from my personal experience now? Okay.
Yes, please.
You would get instructions, or you would have a conversation with Advocate Johnson in the morning, or telephonically, or via WhatsApp. And it would be just the two of you, or maybe another prosecutor and you. And you would find commonality, or you would explain the legalities, the processes. I mean, the elements of an offense changes, but the principles of law does not change. If you have a document in a murder matter, it doesn't change when you're trying to prove it in a corruption matter. So you would have those engagements with her. And then during the course of the day, there would be a conversation that would take place between Mr. Perumal and Dylan Perumal and Advocate Johnson. And the flip-flop would happen. So no matter how you explained it to her or how the decision was made in a rational manner, it would then change according to what Mr. Perumal wanted. And my evidence will show how that affected the investigations.
And when you were engaging Advocate Johnson without then speaking to somebody that was legally trained, a prosecutor, was there that level of engagement?
Yes. When Mr. Perumal was not present or was not involved in the communication or was not influencing the decisions, Advocate Johnson was a very active legal mind. You would be able to engage, and she would speak about different things that she had done and how we can incorporate it and sections of acts. But then come Mr. Perumal, all of that is thrown out the door. And we are now doing things that we're not even supposed to be doing. And it is becoming an instruction. And Chair, from 2023, let me speak for me rather. No, I'm going to speak collectively as the prosecutors of IDAC, because we are all, majority of us are rocking in this boat. If you defy an instruction of Advocate Johnson or you contradict her, the reign or the wrath, if you have to, may I speak about, if you have to go and check the records at the wellness program that NPA provides for its employees with regards to just work stress, home stress, counseling, you will be shocked at the amount of prosecutors and employees, admin staff from IDAC that are receiving counseling.
Is that not because of the nature of the work you do? Just explain.
No, Commissioner.
Yeah, please explain.
May I deviate? Am I allowed to deviate?
Slightly.
Slightly, okay. If you don't follow the instructions, you receive emails of a nature that when I was consulting with the DPCI officer, when I intended on making protected disclosure in June last year, I likened it to being treated worse than scullery maid. You would be internally investigated, unlawfully so. You would be made, I was made redundant for an entire period in 2023 because I objected to Mr. Perumal and Advocate Johnson. and it happened again this year because I objected.
And when you say internal investigations, what mechanisms would she adopt?
Okay, now I'm jumping ahead of my evidence. I apologize. Section 28